Hey everybody, welcome back to Frostbite Garage. Today's episode, we're going to be working on the Cream Dream. And what we got here is a 1984 C2500 or C20. It's a 2500, but pretty much rust-free truck except for this door. See, that's what happens when you put the trim on the doors. Get pretty rotten. But other than that, I mean, your inner wheel wells aren't rotted out. Still has its cab corners for the most part. Still pretty solid. Go around this side. She's pretty solid here too. So this is a 454 truck. Has a turbo 400 transmission. I pretty much bought this truck for the cab and the engine because I want to build a short bed two-wheel drive. I have a bunch of four-wheel drives, but I don't have a two-wheel drive. So my plan was to take this front end and put on a chassis or something, kind of a custom chassis, and make a short bed out of it. But as everything else, all original interior here. Still in really good shape. Doesn't even have a tear in the seat or anything. CD player. The worst part of this truck is the dash. And that's what we're going to be working on today. I'm going to pull this dash out of this truck and swap it for the one in the Blazer. Because if I spend the money building this truck, I want to have a good dash in it. So, plan for today is to pull this dash out, and then I'm going to try and dye it, see how that turns out, because I'm going to have to dye it because the other dash won't match this, and I want a black interior, so I'm just going to try the stuff out, see how it holds up. So I figured I might as well try it on this one since this is a garbage dash for the most part. It's pretty cracked up. Yes, you can get LMC covers that cover these, but we're in Alaska, so you can't really ship those here cheap. It's all pretty expensive to have that shipped up here. So let me get set up, and we'll jump in here and pull this dash off. Show you how to pull this dash out. All right, so we're in the truck. You want to remove the bezel first because these two screws here and that one in the top corner over there hold the top corner of the dash in. And then you got these 7mm bolts on the bottom. And this one on the corner. And the dash should pop right out. You're gonna pull the stereo out. Oh, it's not even locked in there. Not surprised. Pull it out. You just pop the connector right out. She's a pioneer. Oh, with the USB. Look at that. Probably a good one. Oh, look at that. Cord of 1030 Mobile 1. Get some heat. Might be why this thing runs like crap. So, just take the stereo, throw her in the glove box, we'll put it back in later. Nothing wrong with it, still works. But whoever owned this truck before me ran Mobile 1 in it, and it's got some wiped cam lobe. So I don't know if that happened from the Mobile 1, because I know there's no... Aesthetic's supposed to be better than regular conventional oil, but since it doesn't have the zinc, I don't know if that's what wiped it or not. But this thing doesn't run very well. Like I said, it's got a flat lifter. Runs like crap when it doesn't run. We couldn't get it fired up last year. So next thing's gonna be removing all those parts. Mosquitoes are bad right now. That's the only part that sucks about being out here. But we'll get set up and tear this apart real quick. Alright, I'll get over here. Makes it kind of nice. It does have a tilt dash. But you want to remove these guys down here. These sometimes are different lengths, so you'll have to watch where they go. Usually these are a longer fork because they go through this and the lower panel. And pops right out. Like so. We do have some ducts back here. You gotta disconnect. Just like that, dashes out. We'll go inside and pull these trim clips off here. Right here. Take this bezel out. This area. We'll be using that. So, let me get out of here with this. Alright, like I was saying, somebody put aftermarket speakers in here. Over there. You can set that back on there just like that. Lost the clip. So, these go on the bottom of the dash. Then you just drop the dash in, and they slide in like that. That's how they work. This one's off. You can see it should be right here. Like so. When we get inside, we'll snap that back on here. Alright, so we got the dash back inside. Got it set up here on my workbench, which is the tote where my transmission is in and my B&M shift kit. So, saw a transmission video, you'll know what's going on with that. But for right now, we're going to you can take these off. There's two there, two. So that's 10 of them. And you take those 10 bolts off and the vents in the front plate will come off. You gotta be really careful. These are just plastic. So you don't want to put too much torque on them or you could break the plastic studs there. So I'm gonna work on that, get that torn apart, and then we'll clean it up and get her painted. It's a little stuck around the vents a little bit, so you gotta push softly. Just like that. Comes right out. Like I said, this is still original. GM part. All the tabs aren't broken or anything, so this is something good to save. We'll save that. Put it aside. She's off. Like I said, she's pretty cracked up. But more than likely, I'm gonna put this in the. This is going in the K5 Blazer, so it's not really. I don't really care about the cracks. I just wanted to test the dye out, see how it works, and then so we'll clean it, we'll paint it and dye it. More than more than likely I just get a pad and cover it later on, but just want to test to see how the die would hold up. So you can pop these out. These ones aren't broke. So all the other square bodies we have around here, I'm gonna go check and see if there's any broken ones. And then I'm gonna go swap these out for the broken one. Because I got a few actual restoration projects that I want OEM stuff that's not broke. So I'm gonna go look around for some broken ones. If not, then I'll look for which ones are in worse shape than this, and we'll use those ones on this. So I'm gonna go look around. I'll be back. All right, so here's what an old and busted dash looks like. You know, cracks. Got it down on the ground here. Here's what a nice one looks like. No cracks anywhere except a little one right there, starting by the pin tag, which is nothing. You can get some vinyl, like some Armor All or something, put it there. So on this one, it's got a bunch of broken clips. There's only a couple holding it off. So I'm gonna put this one back in the other truck, but before I do, I'm gonna swap this front off. Let's see, that one's broke too. That one's broke. It's amazing how, like, this is an older truck or newer vehicle. This is an 88 Blazer, the other one's an 84, and it's surprising that the 88's in better shape. I guess it's really not surprising. It's probably just been in Alaska its whole life. Compared to somewhere where it's sunny. But that one's not coming off. That one's broke. Most of these are broke. They're coming off broke. Which is not a surprise. They're, like I said, old. Old and brittle. Like somebody with arthritic hips. So, got this one out. This tag's even all messed up, but we'll take this one and we'll put it right back in here for now, since they're all pretty much universal. Just like that. We'll take these clips. This is where you can break them off. You don't want to go tight. Just go till they touch and then stop. And there you have it. Oh, as I break it. This one's bolted on this one. This one goes back in the GMC. Might be wondering why I put it back in there. We're just gonna take it out later on, but it's the best way to store it. Store it in a vehicle so it doesn't get bent up or anything. There's a metal backing, but to keep it pristine, you probably want to leave it in the truck. And I'll armor all it later with something so the sun doesn't affect it, because it might be sitting there a little while. And that's the other thing, I don't want it just kicking around the shop, fall over, get damaged. So I'll go throw it in the other truck. Probably won't film that part. I'll probably film putting the other one back in the Blazer, since that's the one that's going to be painted and all that. So I'll just go throw this back in there, and then we'll get to prepping it and painting it on the next step. All right, so we're back here working on the dash. We're gonna take some more of our prep spray and wax and grease remover. Just spray it down. So the reason this dash got so torn up and cracked is because the person who took it, somebody installed the stereo and they changed the speakers out in the dash here, and they didn't know how to put the dash back in without cracking it. So they kind of bent it in half to get it back in, because you gotta roll down and in. They didn't do that. They just tried shoving it in there, tacoing it. Why this dash got so cracked up. All right, so we'll let that dry. Give it a 45 minutes or so, and then we'll get to painting. All right, so we'll let it dry for about 45 minutes. And I'm using some of this Duplicolor vinyl and fabric specialty coating. I've heard this stuff works really good, so we're gonna try it out on this, see how it holds up. I got it set up here in our paint booth for the day. Had to open the door, get some fresh air in here. But no, this stuff comes out here pretty good. I actually like how this sprays out of the can. So we'll let that sit for a few minutes, and we'll do another light coat. See how it covers. And we might have to go over it for one more time for a third coat. All right, so it's been sitting for a few minutes, so we'll go back for our second coat. All right, so that covered pretty good. I actually like how that covered. Just 2 light coats, like I said, and it's all covered and works pretty good. So if you ever want to dye some vinyl, try this Duplicolor vinyl and fabric. And when you're done with painting, just if you hold the can upside down, it'll blow all the paint out of the tip, and then you don't have to worry about it being full of paint next time you want to use it. So we'll let it dry for a few hours. All right, everybody, it's the next day here on Frostbite Garage. So the dash is dried overnight. Change out the vents to some gray ones I found that are a little more damaged, but cracks are still here. Like I said, we're just doing to see how it holds up. stuck on there pretty good. I tried scraping it off like on the edges here, or I didn't even clean, and it doesn't come off. So I would say that stuff's on there pretty good. So right now I'm gonna put the bezel back on the front here, and then we'll go throw it in the truck. All right, here's the bezel that came out. The chrome was broke off to here, and then somebody tried to glue it, and this corner's all full of glue and all kinds of other stuff. I tried cleaning it up and painting it. That's the best as it can go, best as it can get. And I didn't paint the whole thing because I'm not too worried about it. But just set it down in here. And we'll just flip her over. Get to the back side. A few of these were broke off. Actually, quite a few of them were broke off. So, got the middle one here. And we got the 3 end ones here, still good. Oh, I'm dropping them. And like before, you don't want to tighten these real tight. You just want to tighten them enough to pull the bezel down in it. Because they are just plastic. And like these ones down at the end where they're broke off, but there's still a little bit sticking through. You can't get them on the right way. But what I've done before, they usually go on this way. What you can do is take a pair, flip them backwards like that, and then take a pair of pliers. Well, that one's gone. But you can just grab them. I'll grab some better pliers. Just grab a set of regular pliers. And like I said, just flip them around this way. And you can screw it on backwards. You'll still hold it for the most part. So we'll go get set up and get this in the truck. See what it looks like all put back together. All right, so we're back out here in the K5. As you can see, this dash has not been out before. You can tell by all the dust on it. The other truck came out really clean. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull out these speakers while I'm at it because they don't work. There and over there. And how they do it is you just got these 2 screws here, and then they cut a little pin on the back side. Got set right here. A little tab. They slide in and go down. So I already got these set up for the speakers. I pulled them out of the other Blazer, just painted them up. I'm just gonna do this now while I'm at it because I'm gonna put a stereo, change out the stereo on this one. So I figured might as well have it ready to go. So that's driver's side. You can tell the difference between driver's side and passenger side. Driver's side has a cutout missing on it for the corner of the dash there. So this is the passenger side. So we'll go ahead. So the thing with this Blazer, I'm trying to do everything really on the cheap, not spending a lot of money. So I don't know how, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that really love these dashes. I'm going to try and make something a little custom for this. If that's something you guys are interested in seeing, let me know. I'm going to do a whole gauge cluster for around probably $200. And we'll get rid of this big gas gauge and put a smaller one here, but the gauges will actually work with a tack. and these engines don't have a pickup for the tach. So the kit I got is made for marine use. So you just have to put a weight or a magnet on the balancer. You just drill it in, epoxy it in, and it'll pick up that way. And I'll be showing you how to do that if you guys are interested in seeing a dash install or some gauges install on this, how to do it. I picked up a couple different tips over the years on how to do it. I've done lots of different gauges for these vehicles. All right, so that's in. We're gonna go grab the dash and we'll get the dash set in here. All right, there's what it looks like all finished. Back in there how it's supposed to be, except now painted black. And all right, so that's how you deal with the dash. It's kind of time consuming and a pain in the butt in some places, but she's in there, looking good. So that probably finishes up this episode of Frostbite Garage. So we'll see you on the next one while we restore this K5 Blazer with all old junk parts while we rob all the good ones. See you next time.